Tonight on KGW News, an inmate sues a jail sergeant he says went overboard. Why the sergeant says he acted out of fear. Plus, video shows a panicked woman shouting for help after she was kidnapped and forced to jump from a moving car. And later, for some, it's about doing what's best for their kids.
The whole point of this system is to give all these kids a good education. They can't all find it in the same spot.
Why opponents of a plan that could hit Oregon's November ballot say the biggest loser would be public schools. Oh, good evening, everyone. We begin with that newly released video of a violent confrontation between an inmate and a Clackamas County Sheriff's Sergeant. What you're seeing here is just the start of it. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. The inmate in question is now suing the county, and a warning, some of the video here is hard to watch. Catherine Cook has our top story.
February 2023. Security video at the Clackamas County Jail shows what happened when deputies received Travis Barrett Craig into the booking area. Deputies had arrested Craig after a drunken fight at the Milwaukee Inn Hotel. He'd been injured, then treated and released from the hospital before going to jail. You can see from the video Craig refuses to get up, so deputies drag him across the floor. At one point, his hospital pants fall down, which is why we've blurred this video. Once up, cameras capture Craig spitting in the face of Clackamas County Sheriff Sergeant James Williams. Williams responds by slamming Craig's head into a metal shelf, then slamming him onto the ground head first, fracturing Craig's eye socket. In the use of force report he penned, Sergeant Williams writes, quote, "I was irate. I was yelling orders at Craig to stop fighting and never spit in my face." Williams also wrote that Craig spat a large amount of saliva and blood into his face, noting Craig has hepatitis C, which is transmittable through bodily fluids. In his report, Williams pointed to past incidents during which Craig allegedly spat in two other deputies' faces, causing them to go to the hospital. And records show on the night of this incident, before arriving to the jail, Craig spat in the face of deputies near the hotel. For that, Craig was charged with aggravated harassment. He pleaded guilty and is currently serving a 20-month prison sentence. As for what happened in the booking area, this memo from the DA's office says Sergeant Williams' use of force was reviewed and found to be within the county's use of force policies. The DA's office declined to prosecute Williams. Even so, Craig is now suing the county and jail deputies, including Williams, for excessive force. The suit accuses the sheriff's office of sweeping their actions under the rug by not following up on the case. The lawsuit also points a finger at the sheriff's office for not submitting jail videos showing the use of force when the case was originally submitted for review. The DA's office says that shouldn't have happened, and they've asked the jail to fix that issue. David?
Yeah, imagine they have. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that reporting. Well, new tonight, one of the young men stabbed on the Max last fall in a racially motivated attack is now suing the city of Portland, alleging the suspect should have been in jail at the time of that assault. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom with that story. Alma?
David, the plaintiff and his attorneys allege negligence and are suing the city for $8 million. Adrian Cummins shouted racial slurs at him and at his friend, both of them black teenagers, before stabbing them.
In March, a judge sentenced Adrian Cummins to 18 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to attempted murder, assault, attempted robbery, and bias crime. Currently behind bars, his earliest release date set for 2040. But a new lawsuit claims the convicted felon with an active arrest warrant should have been locked up in Multnomah County Jail when he stabbed 17-year-old Damian Morin on a Max train September 2nd of last year. First, Cummins yelled a racial slur at Damian and his friend. Then he attacked them with a knife. Damian, stabbed in the chest, nearly lost his life. Doctors found bleeding around his lungs, requiring surgery. Now, he's suing the city. The lawsuit points to two prior incidents involving Cummins. One, a fight on a Max train in April 2023, where officers say they found a firearm and silencer belonging to Cummins. Second, from last July, when Cummins was accused of pulling a knife on a private security officer at Union Station. In these cases, PPB charged or cited him. but he didn't show up for court, prompting an arrest warrant. Court documents say Cummins was supposed to be arrested and held until his next scheduled appearance at the end of September. However, he was stopped by police and released twice before the Max attack, according to the lawsuit.
We reached out to the city in response. They declined to comment on this lawsuit. Damien's attorney is also not commenting at this point. David?
Yeah, lots of questions about the timeline here. Thank you, Alma. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the man who escaped police custody at the Oregon State Hospital only to end up stuck in a pond in Portland will now spend 22 years in prison. 39-year-old Christopher Prey was sentenced for crimes that include the escape, the attempted murder, robbery, and assault cases he'd previously been charged with. Prey stole a vehicle at the hospital last year, got away from police in a chase along I-5, and eventually turned up in the Rose City a few days later, where authorities found him stuck in the mud. The man suspected of kidnapping this woman who ran for help at a home in southeast Portland was in court for the first time today. Home surveillance video recorded the moments after the victim escaped from a stranger's car on Friday. The victim says she accepted a ride home from a 25-year-old named Ra Fett, but she says when he was about to stop to drop her off, he sped up. She was able to jump out of the moving car and run to the house nearby. Police say they found Fett hours later and arrested him. And Pacific Power has agreed to a $178 million settlement with more than 400 victims of the 2020 wildfires. The fires killed 9 people and destroyed thousands of homes and businesses. Pacific Power has faced numerous legal challenges over the fires and says it settled nearly 1,500 claims. Last June, a jury found Pacific Power liable for not cutting power to customers despite warnings from top fire officials. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler and Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson have now released a final version of their homeless response plan. Some of the key goals include sheltering or housing an additional 2,700 people living on the streets, increasing shelter capacity by 40%, boosting the supply of affordable housing, and opening a 24/7 drop-off sobering center. County commissioners and Portland City Council are set to vote on this plan next month. You can get into the fine print on Multnomah County's website. Well, meanwhile, in less than a month, the city of Portland will start experimenting with a historic change. July 1st, they'll be testing out part of the new form of government that officially goes into effect next year. Now, one key change, taking the day-to-day running of city bureaus out of the hands of politicians. Pat Doris has been covering this transition in depth on the story and has more tonight from the man that is leading the change.
Part of the changes are already taking place. Commissioners have been appointing deputy city administrators to oversee the bureaus, and while the commissioners will still technically be in charge during the trial period, they're kind of expected to be hands-off. Mike Jordan is the interim city commissioner leading this transition. He admits the change in reporting structure will take time for everyone to get used to, but he thinks the new structure will make a big difference when it comes to accountability.
And I guarantee you, with a mayor and a city council who both can remove the city administrator on their own, the mayor unilaterally, the council with a 9-vote majority can remove the administrator, they're going to be holding what the elected officials want to get done in the city right in their rearview mirror all the time while they're trying to change and operate. So they will be held accountable. Therefore, they will hold everybody else accountable for getting the work done in a much more effective way than maybe we've been able to in the past.
It will be the mayor's job to hire that city administrator, so Jordan recommends Portland voters really keep that in mind when choosing the new mayor in the fall. I talked in depth with Jordan about the big challenges of the transition and how this will change things for city employees. You can catch up on all my reports with him in the story section of the KGW YouTube channel.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this for months, if not years. For more in-depth looks at the big issues in our community, you can check out the story. It's every weekday evening at 6:30, only here on KGW. Well, speaking of local government, Clackamas County Chair Tootie Smith is recovering from what she's calling a minor heart attack. In a statement released this afternoon, Smith says she's received immediate medical care and had a medical procedure. She says she's been advised by doctors to rest and recover for a few weeks. So Vice Chair Ben West will chair board meetings in her absence. Smith, of course, is up for re-election and will face former Clackamas County Sheriff Craig Roberts in a runoff in November. Straight ahead on KGW News at 11, a nationwide debate makes its way to Oregon. The question, should the state use taxpayer dollars to help families choose charter or private schools? Plus, parades march down the road and ships sail up the river. What to expect as the Rose Festival reaches full steam ahead.
And the weather is a bit steamy today with all the rain that we've had recently. Still 58 degrees. It's warm out, but it's cloudy, and the rain has stopped for now, but it will be picking up shortly. We've got more rain moving in right now. And of course, we've got the forecast for the Grand Floral Parade.